We're able to battle back twice, but it's not enough down the stretch to overcome that big deficit.
No, I mean, I think the bottom line is that until we start managing turnovers better, you're not going to be able to beat a good team. Not if you're given, you know, almost 30% of their points are coming off our turnovers, and that's almost impossible to overcome. I thought we played uh, a good game after the half. We had a good start in the third quarter, and I thought that we played well and did a lot of good things. But as long as we're having 20 turnovers, 30 points, it's just going to be hard to beat. And then I thought the offensive rebounding hurt us early, and I thought we took care of that. But the turnovers are the big thing. We got to get that out of our game. I thought defensively we were pretty good. Obviously DeRozan is a hell of a player, and he made a lot of mid-range jumpers there down the stretch. But for the most part, I thought we were there and had challenge shots. But there's just no way, because when we turn it over the way we do, then the fast break points go up, the points in the paint go up, the field goal percentage go up, and I still think they only shot 44%. So the one thing that I emphasized right from the start is I said, let's make sure that we have them beat us and not us beat ourselves. And, at the end of the day, you turn it over 20 times for 30 points. You had as much, as big a hand in that loss as they had playing. And that's not taking one thing away from San Antonio, because they're a good basketball team, and, obviously they're a team that doesn't beat themselves.
Coach, we would be remiss if we didn't talk about the effort of J.J. Redick today. 31 points, 32 minutes. He took a couple of charges. He did it all. It was a pleasure to watch him this afternoon.
Well, I thought JJ, he talked the other day about us playing and bringing the right spirit to play with, and I thought he did exactly that. I think we got to do a little bit better job also of being able to move on to the next play when things are not going good, and then we've got to be able to rally together. But I thought JJ was really good today. I thought he did a really good job. I thought he made some really tough shots for us to kind of keep us just, within arm's reach, but we just couldn't get over the hump, and we never really got it to the point where we could get ahead.
What's up, coach? This is Will Guillory with the Athletic. You talked before about how you wanted to approach this game like a game 7, and then you find yourself back down by 20 in the first half again. So I guess, how do you kind of explain the lack of spirit, lack of precision from you guys in the first?
There is no explanation. We talked about it, and it is a game 7, and we did need to approach it like it was a game 7. So obviously, we fell behind early. We defensively wasn't into the ball early on, and I don't have an explanation for that. I wish I did, but it's the only way that you're going to beat a team like that. You have to be uh, ready to play. You got to be willing to execute, and you got to be able to protect the basketball. And those things we struggled with today.
Hey, Coach, Christian Clark here with Null.com. It's just been a pretty rough go for Lonzo inside the bubble these 6 games. What has prevented him from looking like that guy we saw before the break?
I'm not real sure. I think some of the guys just have a real comfort level when you playing 5-on-5 and you have enough time. Not making excuses, but we basically had 2.5 weeks to get ready to play, and sometimes that's not enough for some guys. He was playing very good basketball before this happened, and he'll get back. He'll come back. This is a kid that wants to be a good player. He works at being a good player. Just had a pretty rough go down here, but I don't think any of us as coaches has lost confidence in him at all.
Hi, Coach. Tonight the Trailblazers will be playing. If they win, you guys will be officially eliminated. How are you guys into the game tonight? You guys going to be watching the game, or are you guys going to try just to stay away from anything that will happen tonight?
Well, it doesn't really matter. We're not controlling anything that happens in the Portland game. I'm sure some of the guys will watch it. I'm sure we'll watch some of it. But as I said, we don't control anything in that game. The the only thing that we could do is control what happens in our game, and obviously we didn't get that done today.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you guys. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Sunday afternoon in New Orleans kind of sees fit here for the Pelicans as they fall to the San Antonio Spurs. In Orlando, 122 to 113. We'll take you back out to Orlando in just a little bit as we'll hear from Alvin Gentry and JJ Redick and hope to hear from Zion Williamson, But right now, let's go to the numbers from tonight's game. Before we do that, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to the New Orleans Pelicans Radio Network. Right now, here are some of the numbers from tonight's game, courtesy of Zatarain's, a New Orleans tradition since 1889. We'll start with the Spurs, who improved to 31-38 on the season, and they had 5 players in double figures. They were led by DeMar DeRozan, 27 points, 10 of 16 shooting, 7 of 7 from the foul line, and 16 points for Derek White, who'd only played the first half. He left the game with a left knee contusion. He actually left the arena after the third quarter, so we'll see how he is. Hope he's okay. But he did not play in the entire second half and still finished with 16 points, 6 of 11 shooting in 20 minutes of play. Also in the starting lineup, DeJounte Murray tied a career high with 3 3-pointers, 3 of 5 from downtown, 18 points, 5 of 14 shooting in 33 minutes. Off the bench, Rudy Gay, 19 points, 5 rebounds on 5 of 11 shooting. He was also 7 of 7 from the free throw line. They're a really good free throw shooting team, one of the best coming into it, and I'll get to that stat in just a moment. Also, Marco Bellinelli with 14 points. He was 6 of 6 from the foul line, 2 of 6 from long range. And how about the rebounding? Jakob Poeltl with 14 boards. Drew Eubanks with a new career high, 11 rebounds, 45% shooting for San Antonio, 40 of 89. 11 of 28 from downtown, but 31 of 32 from the foul line. If you compare that to the Pelicans, they went 17 of 22, so 14-point differential just on free throws alone. But again, one of John DeShazier's keys at the very beginning of the game is defend without fouling because the Spurs are so good at going to the line. That did not work today as the Spurs went 31 of 32. Turnovers, 17 of them for San Antonio, 21 points off those turnovers for the Pelicans. Pelicans dropped to 30 and 40, 2 and 4 inside the bubble. I'll go right to their turnovers just because we mentioned San Antonio. Again, New Orleans has been plagued by turnovers this entire bubble and this entire season. Second to last in the NBA as far as turnovers per game, 20 of them tonight. And you can't make mistakes against the San Antonio Spurs team because they will make you pay. They did so with 30 points off of those 20 turnovers. They had 4 players in double figures, led by J.J. Redick, ties the season high with 31 points, 5 rebounds and 3 assists, 10 of 16 shooting from the field, and 8 of 12 from beyond the arc. Zion Williamson, 25 points, 10 of 20 shooting, 7 rebounds in 27 minutes. Brandon Ingram, 17 points, 6 of 14 shooting, 2 of 4 from long range. And Derek Favors, team-leading 18th double-double, 10 points, 12 boards on 5 of 8 shooting. But we have to talk about the backcourt. I mentioned it with John DeShazier in our last segment. Holiday and Ball combined for 4 for 22 from the field, 0 for 9 from downtown. They had 12 points combined. They also had 8 turnovers combined. And not a good day for Holiday and Ball as they both played over 31 minutes. But unfortunately, those two did not contribute a lot to today's ball game. They shoot 44%, the team as a whole, 42 of 96, 12 of 30 from long range, and 17 of 22 from the foul line. Points in the paint was all Pelicans. Despite missing 30 shots in the paint, they outscored San Antonio 54 to 36. They had 17 more attempts at the rim than San Antonio. Second chance points, all Pelicans 27 to 15. Fast break points, San Antonio 17, Pelicans 9. But again, the Pelicans made that comeback in the third, 32 to 19, got it to within 3 or 4 points. But San Antonio drops 41 points in that fourth quarter, 122 points total. They defeat New Orleans 122 to 113. 504-593-4910 is the number to call. 504-593-4910. When we come back, we'll hear from Pelicans head coach Alvin Gentry. You're listening to Pelicans OT.
Lauren here for Vision. We built a new house when our daughter arrived, and we made sure to include Home IQ in our plans.
Network. Once again, here's Daniel Sallerson.
Welcome back in. Daniel Sallerson inside our Smoothie King Center studios. Pelicans fall to the Spurs 122-113. They dropped to 30-40, 2-4 in the bubble. Spurs improved to 31-38. They improved to 4-2. They keep their playoff hopes alive. Pelicans do not. They are not officially eliminated. A loss or win by the Blazers would do that this afternoon. We'll get to that in our next segment, but right now let's go quickly back to Orlando. JJ Redick standing by with the media.
Sure. What's up, JJ? This is Will Guillory with The Athletic. Just, I guess, in a game of this importance, and then you find yourself down by 20 in the first half, what do you think the team was just really lacking, coming into this game?
I don't think for whatever reason, I don't have an answer, but I don't think we've started the game with a great competitive spirit. We've had a couple games like that down here for whatever reason. Our group eventually picked it back up and, whittled that lead down to a one-possession game. But we just didn't start the game right for the whole first half. I'm not just the starters. I'm just saying the whole first half.
Yes. Yes, this way. Hey,
Christian Clark, go ahead. Hey, JJ, Christian Clark with All.com. I mean, like you said, you guys made it really competitive in the second half, got it to 3 and then 4. Just why did it kind of get away in that first quarter, do you think?
We just didn't have any competitive spirit to start the game. We were flat. We weren't talking. That's what it comes down to.
A quick and to the point JJ Redick, obviously clearly frustrated with the loss, and talks about that first quarter where the Pelicans were outscored 27-19. Look, the Spurs were not shooting lights out at all in that first quarter, but the Pelicans continued to turn over the basketball. Pretty much at the beginning of the game, Spurs opened up on a 14-3 run. Pelicans answered with an 11-0 run to tie it up. They actually were up 16-14. Spurs tied it and then went on a run of their own to end the first quarter. And after that, the Spurs pretty much did not look back, defeating New Orleans 122-113. When we come back, I'll update you on all the games happening around the NBA. You're listening to Pelicans OT.
Archie Manning here for Thibodeau Regional. In the Manning household, we're pretty serious.
OT. Here's Daniel Sallerson.
Couple more segments to go, then we're going to get on out of here. Pelicans fall to the Spurs 122-113. They dropped to 30-40 on the season. Spurs improved to 31-38. Right now, let's get you caught up in all the games happening around the NBA, courtesy of Cintas. Cintas, ready for the workday. One other game going on right now. Celtics lead the Magic at the half, 55-51. Both teams have already clinched a playoff berth. Gordon Hayward, 18 points for the Celtics. Thunder earlier today over the Wizards, 121-103. Darius Bazley with 23.7 rebounds for OKC. Pelicans did get some help earlier today, but really doesn't matter now. Raptors over the Grizzlies, 108-99. And as I mentioned, Pelicans fall to the Spurs 122-113. The game you have to keep your eye out on if you are not depressed right now about watching basketball. 5:30 p.m. Central Time. Trailblazers and Sixers. A win by the Portland Trailblazers would eliminate the Pelicans from a chance at the play-in and any playoff spot in the Western Conference. 7 p.m. tonight, Kings and Rockets. A loss by the Kings would eliminate them. And at 8 p.m. Central, the Nets will take on the Clippers. Again, your final score from Orlando, San Antonio 122, Pelicans 113. Those are your scores provided by Cintas. Ready for the workday. I'll wrap things up next on the New Orleans Pelicans Radio Network, presented by Smoothie King.
Just like all of you, we at SeatGeek can't wait until we're back in the stands cheering on our favorite teams.
Lauren here for Vision. We built a new house when our daughter arrived, and we made sure to include Home IQ in our plans. Being a mom is great, and I feel safe knowing that Vision has us covered with home security. The high-tech perks are great too. Automated door locks, cameras, 24/7 surveillance, garage door control, thermostats, all accessible from my mobile phone. You don't need a new house to get the security you need for your family. Just call us. Watch and control your house with Home IQ, smarter security from Vision. Louisiana license F1256.
This is Mike.
It pretty much depends now on the Portland Trailblazers. A win today by Portland would send New Orleans home for good, but the Pelicans will still have 2 more games in the bubble. On Tuesday against the Sacramento Kings, nationally televised on TNT. You can watch it locally on Fox Sports New Orleans, and of course you can listen right here on ESPN New Orleans 100.3 FM and the New Pelicans Radio Network, presented by Smoothie King. 8 p.m. Central Time. It's the second game of a TNT doubleheader, so it's a little bit of a late start on Tuesday, 8 p.m., and then Thursday they'll wrap things up against the Orlando Magic. No time yet set for that game. We'll probably expect that on Tuesday. They wanted to keep Thursdays and Fridays games open in case, TV wanted to take some of the more meaningful games, but I'm assuming with Pelicans are out of it and the Magic have already clinched a playoff spot, I would assume it's going to be a day game again for New Orleans on Thursday, but again, we'll keep you posted as we hear. You can keep it in touch on Pelicans.com or follow the team on Twitter at PelicansNBA. So Tuesday, 8 p.m., Pelicans and Kings. I'll have Pelicans warm up for you at 7:30 p.m. On that note, it's time to end the broadcast. Pelicans fall to the Spurs 122-113. For Todd Graffinini, John DeShazer, Jim Eichenhofer, Caroline Gonzalez, Joe Cardosi, I'm Daniel Salerson. Thanks for listening to the New Orleans Pelicans Radio Network, presented by Smoothie King, and good night from the Big Easy.
Will Guillory with the Athletic. Just how do you kind of explain just the lack of spirit, lack of precision from you guys in the first half?
Something that's not acceptable, and that lack of spirit in the first half really dictates the second half. And if we would have came out better, maybe we would have had a different outcome. So. And like I always say, you just got to learn from that experience and just, be better.
Hey, Zion, Christian Clark here at Null.com. I mean, how frustrating is it to just, as a team come out with the lack of the spirit when you know this is one you really had to have?
In the moment, it is very frustrating, but at the same time, when you're in that moment, you're just looking at your teammates, just trying to do whatever you can to, pick the spirits up. So, like I said, it's one of those things that, it's not acceptable. We got to learn from that experience and just be better.
Hey, Zion, it's Andrew from ESPN. This is it wasn't necessarily just a thing, I think, today. It's been a few times here in the bubble that you guys have not been able to come out with the fast starts, I think, that you want. Is there anything you can attribute that to?
No, I'm not sure, to be honest. Me giving an honest answer probably is just we just got to come out ready to play. And, in those games where we didn't come out ready to play, it showed.
Zion, Christian Clark again. One of the criticisms of this team is that it gets quiet. I mean, do you think that's a valid criticism? Do you think that was a factor at all with the defense in the first half?
Every team has some kind of, adversity they have to work through, and, ours, we have good communication. Just at times we don't use it, and it shows.
What's up, Zion? This is Will again. One of the things we talked about going into the bubble was how valuable this would be, just being able to play in these games for some of the young guys. So I guess coming out of it, what are some of the main lessons you took away from playing in some of these, playoff stakes type of games?
Just got to put ourselves in a better position to win. Can't come out like how we did in the first half. It's simple as that.
Hey, Zion, it's Andrew from ESPN again. More to that. If Portland does win tonight, you guys are officially out of the playoffs, still with 2 games left. What's the biggest thing you think you guys can take away from these last 2 games?
To go out there and try to win. That's always the goal.
Hey, Zion, Christian Clark, one more for you. It just seemed like, when the season was suspended, you guys were in a pretty good place. I mean, it seems like you had some momentum. Why do you think, the team here in these 6 games has looked so different than that team?
A lot of things. Just a lot of small basketball things that, it's something that we got to go watch film on and, just, like I said, to learn from that experience and try to be better.
Hey, Zion. I don't want to say the season's over yet. There's still some chances for you to qualify for the playoffs. But can you describe to us your first year in the NBA? Anything that outstood for you the most as a lesson with all these distractions, the pandemic, being in the bubble, political tension, racial issues, injuries that you suffer. But what else stood the most for you on your first year as a pro? Something that will make you a better player, and so and so.
Just live life, moment by moment. Learn from each moment, learn from each experience, and just, take those lessons and apply it to your life.
Thanks, Zion.
No problem.